the House of Commons records show that I've spoken in this chamber 9,880 times. But I have to say that when you discover that the Prime Minister was only 2 years old when you were first elected, you realise it is time to move on. But every time I've spoken in this chamber, I've had a profound sense of how important this House is and what a great honour and privilege it is to be a member of this Parliament. And through good times and bad, I have felt that great sense of responsibility and privilege to my constituents. And the thing about being an MP is that you are, for your constituents, their one and only MP. And it's absolutely down to you to be standing up for them, speaking up for them, and on their side through thick and thin. And I want to thank my constituents of Camberwell and Peckham for actually being on my side through thick and thin as well. Now, I've not calculated even my absolutely brilliant members of staff, and I want to pay tribute to all the staff who I've worked with over the years. Even my brilliant members of staff can't calculate how many times I voted during those 42 years, many thousands of times, but I would say two things about that. For the first 15 years, between 1982 and 1997, I voted assiduously every night, sometimes even through the night, and did not win a single vote. Now, opposition undoubtedly is public service, but we'd rather be in government. And I hope that the person who I hope will be elected as my successor to Camberwell and Peckham, Miata Fanbuller, who I think will make a great contribution to the House, I profoundly hope she will be on that side of the chamber. The second thing I want to say about voting is that I've never voted against the whip. And that is not because it's not because I can't think for myself, or I'm stupid, or I'm supine, nor is it because I think my party has always been perfect, far from it, and indeed I fought for change from within my party. But I've recognised I was a Labour candidate. I was elected as a Labour Member of Parliament, and I've been proud to be that, and proud to be one of the team of Labour members in my constituency and all around the country, that great Labour family. Towards the later years of my time in this House, I've had the great joy, really, of working much more cross-party and working as chairs of select committees. And I want to pay tribute to my colleagues on those select committees for the very important work that those committees do. And I want to also thank the House of Commons staff, the clerks who do such excellent work, but indeed all those in this House of Commons who work, whether it's the security people who keep us safe, the caterers, the cleaners, many of whom are my constituents. They are all part of our democracy, and we should be grateful for their work. I'd also like to say that latterly it's been really a joy and a pleasure to work with women across the House, women all sides of the House, and I see some of the sisterhood sitting there on the back row. And that has been a huge change for the better. Although it was as long ago as 42 years ago I first came into this chamber, I remember so well coming in as I did at a by-election, standing at the bar of the House and looking, it was just ahead of Prime Minister's questions, looking at the serried ranks of men on all sides of the House, standing there in my red velvet maternity dress and feeling completely out of place. And of course, I was out of place in a House of Commons that was only 3% women and 97% men. And to those people who look back through rose-tinted glasses and with nostalgia and talk about the good old days in the House of Commons, I would say the House of Commons is better now than it was. It is more representative. And the women who are in this House of Commons now, 30%. It's gone up from 3%. They also know that it is not that we are doing them a favour letting them be here. They are a democratic imperative to make this House of Commons representative. They need to have their voices heard. They will not be silenced, and they are an essential part of a modern democracy. People sometimes ask, what would you say to a young woman now with all the difficulty, the threats, social media? Would you really encourage someone, a young woman, to go into politics? And I would say absolutely yes. Though it is hard, it is really important, if you feel you can make a change, and you can, to come into this House of Commons. And though at times it's been hard for me, I wouldn't regret a single day of being here in this House of Commons. Now, when I was first introduced 42 years ago into the House, my husband, Jack Dromey, was sitting up there in the gallery, beaming down his 100% support on me, as he always did. And obviously he's not here today, but my 3 children are here in the gallery, beaming down their 100% support, and I'm so grateful to them for that. Now, in a few hours, these benches will all be cleared and the House will fall silent until after July. And then it will be absolutely packed with freshly elected MPs from 650 constituencies across Scotland, Wales, England and Northern Ireland. And it will be those members of Parliament who hold our democracy in their hands, and it will be them that hold the future of our country in their hands. So now it's time for me to pass that responsibility on to them, so no pressure.